All right, Falcons fans, I really don't know how to say this without sounding like a delusional optimist, but the Atlanta Falcons somehow still have a chance to make the playoffs. Yeah, I know. I don't believe it either. I've been calling the season cooked since the beginning, and a lot of you have too. But mathematically, logically, chaotically, there is a path, a tiny path, a walking through the airport sideways with the suitcase kind of path. But it is a path. So let's break this down right now. Now, scenario number one, the easiest scenario, the Falcons win out. Now, look, the simplest and most likely scenario for the Atlanta Falcons to go to the playoffs is the Falcons finish 10-7. Now, before you laugh, hear me out. 10-7 will probably win the NFC South, and 10-7 almost guarantees a wild card spot in the NFC because every team in this conference has to play each other. And when you look at the Falcons schedule, it's not as impossible as it sounds. Now, up next, they have the Jets, they have the Seahawks at home, they have the Buccaneers, they have the Cardinals, they have the Rams on Monday Night Football, and then they have the Saints again. So realistically, the Falcons should beat the Jets. Now, if they don't beat the Jets, then it's all over. But they should beat the Jets. They should beat the Cardinals. That puts them at 2-0 in the next 2 of the next 4. The tough ones, obviously, are the Seahawks, Rams, and Buccaneers. But even those teams have some twist to them, and we're going to get to that. If the Falcons somehow win all 6 of the next games, 10-7, probably in the postseason, which would be insane, especially how we started this season. Now, scenario number 2, win 5 of the next 6. Essentially, the Falcons need to win 5 games to have any shot of making the playoffs. Now, if the Falcons win 5 games, they're 9-8. That means that they will probably drop one of this last 6, probably against either Seattle or the Rams. And then I'm just praying and hoping they can figure out a way to beat everyone else. And praying and hoping that 2 of those NFC South teams collapses right around the Atlanta Falcons. And then guess what? It might happen. Because Tampa Bay, they got their issues. This guy named Baker Mayfield, their starting quarterback, his shoulders out, and no one's really talking about it. But Baker Mayfield, it's official, Baker Mayfield has sprained his AC joint. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a pain injury. It's not really a structural injury, but you live and die by that pain. And I'm telling you, it is very painful. I did it to my AC joint. And for a guy who's moving and trying to throw, he's not going to be the same. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not that efficient without Baker Mayfield making off-scripted throws and being Baker Mayfield. Now, this injury could easily cost him a week. I'm hoping and praying that it cost him 2 weeks. And for some reason, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find a way to lose to the Cardinals and the Saints. Because if they lose to those 2, now I'm going to read you the next 6 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They play the Cardinals, likely without Baker Mayfield. And if they play the Saints without Baker Mayfield, things could get very interesting. Then they play the Falcons, which the Falcons would 100% need to win that game. They play the Panthers, they play the Dolphins, and then they play the Panthers again. And if Tampa Bay loses 3 of those games, 3 of those games to the right teams, the Falcons have a real chance. We'll see, but they'll have a real chance. Now, moving on to the last team, we need the Carolina Panthers to pretty much forget how to play football. And they've done that in the past. So, it's going to be chaos, but here's what we're paying attention to. The Carolina Panthers kind of control their fate, but their remaining schedule is absolutely disgusting. Now, they've already took an L to the 49ers. Now it goes Rams, which is brutal. Saints, which I think they should win that game. Buccaneers, which we need the Panthers to beat the Buccaneers once. Seattle, and then the Buccaneers again. And if there's a very real chance that the Panthers go 2-4 for the rest of the way, maybe 1-5. So if they finish 8 or 9 or 7-10, they're out. They're eliminated. They're gone. And suddenly the Falcons are right back in the mix. Now, I will say this. The path is kind of laid for the Atlanta Falcons. Win out, we talked about that. That's the easier of the two. But if the Falcons go 9-8, and Tampa Bay somehow goes 3-3 and loses to the right teams, and Carolina goes 2-4, Atlanta could still make the playoffs. Yes, in December, even after everything we've gone through, even after injuries, even after the heartbreak, even after blowing leads, blowing opportunities, there is somehow still a path for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, look, is it likely? No, not at all. Is it insane? Absolutely. Is it the Falcons? Yes, this happens every year. But Falcons fans, technically the season is not over. And there's a window, a tiny window. Why are we like this kind of window? But it does exist. So you might as well buckle up and root for chaos because it's the NFL. It stands for one thing, not for long, but also bring the chaos. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And drop a comment below telling me what you think the Falcons record will be at the end of the season. And if you think it's over for the Atlanta Falcons, we will see. But like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.